Welcome back. I have my American coffee and my American friend, Ashley. I have some questions from my followers to you. Okay. First topic is gonna be friendship. Friendship as an adult. How does it work? Is it easy to make friends as an adult in the US?
I think this one depends on where you would live. I live in New York City, and I feel like it could be easy to meet people here because you have a lot of opportunities, but maintaining friendships as an adult can be really difficult. I think with our work schedules and everyone being really busy.
On one hand, I'm like, it's true that Italians are friendly, but Americans are friendly too.
We are friendly, yes.
Yes. Right?
Yeah, I was gonna say friendlier.
That's
That's not always true, but we are very friendly.
I feel like Americans are very polite, like friendly, but sometimes it's just like the outside. Like you guys are friendly. It's not like, in Japan it's harder to make friends. I do have friends, but I was lucky. I was living with them. It can be harder. But on one hand, I feel like it should be easier here because Americans do travel a lot for work when they're adults. Oh, I got a new job in another state. Cool.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, me, for example, I've worked in 3 different states, which means I moved to 3 different states. So when it comes to friendships, I think that is a difficult way to keep friendships.
It's difficult to keep them, but I
But
feel
to
like
meet people, it's very easy.
you can find people who are in your same situation.
Yeah.
While in Italy, we tend, not everybody, but like a lot of Italians tend to stay in the same town or city.
Yeah.
So you always have the same group of friends. So let's say you're 30, it's harder to meet new people maybe because everybody will have their same group of friends.
Yeah.
That they've had forever. But here, I feel like you can find people who just moved, just like you.
There's a lot of people that move, especially in the bigger cities, that move in and out. They are in similar situations.
Pros and cons, I think. Ragazzi, mancano pochi giorni alla fine del Candy Friday 2025. So che non parlo spesso del mio percorso con l'inglese su questo canale, però come vedete il saper parlare inglese mi ha cambiato la vita. E so che può cambiare la vita a tante persone, per il lavoro, per i viaggi, per le opportunità anche relazionali. Quindi se è una vita che studi inglese, ma ancora quando devi parlare qualcosa ti blocca, ti sale l'ansia, non sei sicuro, ho il corso per te perché con English Confidence Booster rivediamo insieme e spiegato in maniera semplice la grammatica, la pronuncia, i modi di dire, vi do delle frasi naturali che vi fanno sembrare molto sciolti in inglese, così che vi assicuro che molti dubbi che vi portate dietro dalle elementari se ne andranno. Perché insegno bene. Per chi è English Confidence Booster? È per quelle persone che un'infarinatura di inglese già ce l'hanno. Ho puntato idealmente a un target A2, B1, B2. Con il Candy Friday, English Confidence Booster è a €99 invece di 199. C'è il 50% di sconto. Non facevo questa offerta dal lancio. Ho ricevuto tantissimi commenti positivi da chi l'ha acquistato e vi ricordo che c'è anche la garanzia soddisfatti o rimborsati. Quindi provare non costa niente. Come acquistarlo? Qui sotto in info box lascio il link con tutte le informazioni. Lo sconto è valido fino al 3 dicembre 2025. Se hai qualche domanda, scrivi pure nei commenti. Let's go back to the video. I don't have a lot of American friends. I have some, but not a lot. You're my friend. Yeah, I know. We're close friends, but I don't have a lot of American friends.
Yeah, but I think too, like if you also think about like the average day, I live in Queens, so it takes me, an hour to get to work, and then if you're in the office all day, and then your commute home, and then going to the gym, and then walking your dog, sometimes making time is difficult.
It's a lot of time even in Rome.
Yeah.
Because you do meet people, like let's say you start a new course, bachata course. Okay, nice. You meet a lot of people in Rome. But it's a lot of energy when it's in a big city. In Gran Canaria, it was easy. Because it was like,
it's
you
easy.
Have 10
you have
minutes?
time. Yeah.
Yes, I have 10 minutes. But in Rome, it's like, hey, do you have an afternoon?
Let me
You
put
don't
it on my
always have an
calendar.
afternoon.
Let me put some time for you on my calendar. But here it is very easy to find meetups.
Yeah.
It's very easy to find a meetup or find like a girls' happy hour, networking happy hour, where you can meet like people that are maybe from out of town or work in the same industry as you or have the same. You can't. You have to put in the effort though.
Yeah. Would you say it's different in a smaller city here? Like maybe people who've
they're not
been there forever?
Yeah. If you come from a smaller town or a smaller city, people aren't going to be organizing as many meetups. People aren't going to be moving there from out of state.
But maybe they're more welcoming? I'm not sure.
I think so. I haven't lived in a small town or small city.
Yeah, that's true. You're from the city. Now, when you have friends, what do you usually do with them? For example, in Japan, you don't usually see them at their house. I've had friends for 11 years, and I'm sure that I've seen their house like maybe once or never even. You just don't meet at their house.
Here, I think it's very normal to meet at someone's house.
Yeah.
Like, I welcome people into my house, but usually we'll meet, like, I think like everyone else will meet for like a coffee, food, or if we don't want to go out, it's really normal to spend time at each other's houses.
Even your friends, I've
Yeah.
noticed they were like, hey, do you want to be in my place? Come over. Like,
Yeah.
you can spend here, like, the weekend here. It's very normal
Yeah.
in the US. It's not in Japan. I think it's because you have big houses
Yeah, there's a lot more space. It's more comfortable.
and nicer. Like, Japan houses are often messy, so you don't want people to see your mess, you know?
Yeah.
Do you usually go out for dinner, or do you have house parties?
It depends on the relationship, but I would say I feel like we more or less will kind of go to each other's house if I really think about it. That's what I like to do with my friends, and we'll make something here or have some snacks. And then if we want to go out, we'll go out.
Okay. I don't know. I feel like in Italy you do go to people's house. It's pretty
Yeah.
common. For dinner, for coffee, for tea. We also go out and have pizza.
Yeah, it's a
Similar.
mix.
Yeah. They want to know. Oh no, yes. One more question. How often do you see each other? How often do you see them?
Not enough. Honestly, I think that we sometimes do a bad job of making time for our friends.
Is it just because it's New York City or just overall in the US?
I think overall in the US, I think we definitely could do a better job at sometimes making more time for our friendships, because you already know how we are very dedicated to our work, and sometimes we do work long hours, and that's more of a culture, especially like during the weekdays. You really save time for your friends on the weekends, but I would love to hang out with my friend like on a Tuesday night or a Thursday night or do something.
We're hanging out all the
Yeah.
time. But yeah, I noticed the same thing in Colorado. Like they would plan a dinner like 3 weeks in advance.
Yeah, exactly. When it's really, we should be like, hey, what are you doing right now?
In Italy, I feel like we hang out more often. In Japan, though, once a month or once every 2 months, especially after they have kids and get married, etc.
I think too, it also could be part of the distance. Like where I'm from in California, it's a pretty widespread city, so people live farther away from each other. So that's why we would spend the weekends with each other. But here, since people live a little bit closer, it's a lot easier to be like, do you want to grab a coffee?
Yeah, if you're like in Queens.
If you live in the area.
Now they want to know about relationships. What about love? We're like,
I don't know if I'm the best person to answer this question, or maybe I am.
I want to be honest. Like, I want them to know the truth. I feel like people in New York City they're mean compared to other parts of the US.
I think so too.
I don't know what's going on, but sometimes I read some text messages and I'm like, why is this guy so mean? Like, for no reason. And they're not like that in different states.
Yeah, people here are definitely a little bit more aggressive than other places, I would say, for sure. I think love is also definitely harder to find here.
Why? Why do you think New York City is so...
Because I think it's a city where you have to, if you live here, you do have to have that aggressiveness to kind of
survive,
navigate your way through. And I think people bring that into their relationships as well.
That's a good thing.
That is just my personal opinion as someone who's lived in multiple places.
People are more, they have to survive. It's like
just
eat or
kinda,
be eat.
Yeah.
I thought it was more like because they have so many options.
I think that is part of it too. I mean, you live in a city with millions of people. Everywhere you go, you see people, going to work we take public transportation, on the subway. How many people are you going to interact with going to work?
And a lot of them are so good looking.
There's
like,
a lot of good
looking. A lot of models,
yeah.
A lot of actors, a lot of people in the show business.
Yeah.
But that can't be the reason. Maybe that's what you're saying. Like, it's just a city where you have to be tough.
But like coming from California, if you think about it, I get in my car, I drive to work, and I go inside the building. I don't really have many of those interactions unless I'm doing something else.
So it's harder to find love here, but if you have more opportunities.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was shocked. We have one more question. Do you think life is better in the US or in Italy? Because she's lived in Italy. But this is such a hard question.
I can't answer this question because I'm torn. I guess someone who wanted to move to Italy at one point and live what I would consider to be a slower lifestyle. For me, I think there are some things that are better in Italy. I think it's beautiful in the way that I view beauty in a place. I think that the food is better, but I know that there are some things like with some certain certain systems that would be trouble for me to navigate. So that might make the quality of my life less. We have access to a lot of job opportunities here.
Yes, that's undeniable.
Yeah, but of course I'd love to live in Italy and see all the beautiful things.
Yeah.
Done.
That's why, like, every time people ask me this question, like, is life better in Italy or Japan or the US? Like, I don't know. It depends on what you want.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on what you want.
There's no perfect country. For some people, it might be Italy. For some people, so you've considered moving to Italy at one point. So it's already like, you know, she likes Italy
I love Italy.
a lot.
I wish I could live maybe 4 months there, the rest of the time here, go back and forth.
I know. Keep working hard. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you guys for watching. She has to go back to work.
Bye. Of course.